Hey, Chris Truder here, leading communications expert in Japan. Thank you for checking in. And this is my Facebook Live episode 9. Today is Tuesday morning, July 23rd, 8:30 a.m. here in Japan. So again, thank you for watching my videos. And you'll notice today I have a headset on and I'm testing my new webcam. Actually, it's not my new webcam. I had a webcam, and after a couple months, it stopped working. So I returned it. The manufacturer sent me a new one yesterday. I tested this on Facebook Live yesterday, and it worked. So I used to use my iPhone with a tripod and a little microphone, um, which worked great, but this is even better to just use a webcam connected to my computer and using these mics. So anyway, thanks for checking in. So today we're going to talk about a teaching method called interleaving. So what is interleaving? Well, let me explain. Let me explain by first saying what it's not. You're probably familiar with the teaching method called the block method. So if you remember back in school, you studied based on subjects. You have math, you have English, science, and even within those subjects, for example, math, you would study one thing at a time. Okay, today we're going to study fractions, and then next week decimals, and then again algebra, then geometry, then trigonometry. So that's the block method, and there's nothing wrong with the block method. Uh, but studies have shown that the interleaving method actually helps long-term retention of memory better than the block method. So you remember back in school, uh, the night before you have a test, you cram for the test, you do well on the test, and then you forget everything pretty much after the test. Well, so cramming is good for taking tests. It's good for your short-term memory, but it's terrible for your long-term memory. Uh, so when teaching English in Japan, remember Japanese students have been studying English for years and years and years in order to take tests, and a lot of them have probably done well in their tests through cramming using, basically the block method, but they don't have retention of the language. So interleaving, like mixing different things in order to reinforce the memory of whatever it is you're learning. So, for example, I've been talking about picking your niche as an English teacher. So, picking your niche, in addition to teaching English, do some research in an industry or something that you're very interested in, and then focus on those types of people to teach English to. Uh, so it's the same thing with in teaching or actually learning English, is that if you learn English while doing something, then you're much more likely to retain that knowledge better. So because it's contextual and it's how we actually learn language through real life. So of course, if you do total immersion by going to a foreign country, uh, you are not only studying and learning the language, but you're hearing it, you're experiencing it, and you're using it every day. So we try to do that we try to replicate that in the classroom, which can be difficult, but one thing we focus is on that person's job. So we practice English using their daily tasks, what you do today. Of course, there's free conversation, but by first focusing on their job, how do you use English in your job, that really helps them improve English for job-related things. Other ideas you can do, you can do a cooking class in English. The thing about interleaving, though, is that it's more challenging for your brain. So compared to the block method, for example, if you're just learning new vocabulary through rote memory, your brain picks the path of least resistance. And so it's easy to remember things in sequence. That's why cramming works for short-term memory. Uh, but because it's not challenging to your brain, once you've done the test, your brain quickly just eliminates those memories. So uh, interleaving is more challenging. And again, studies have shown that interleaving doesn't have good short-term results. Cramming actually has better short-term results. So you can't give up. But in the long term, interleaving actually helps. So again, teaching English and learning English through some type of context, either through your hobbies. So if I'm talking to a student, a Japanese student, I'd say, of course, study English as much as possible, but you need to practice your English within environments that you're interested in. So, for example, if you like wine, join a wine tasting club with foreigners in Japan. So, highly recommend to check out the website Meetup. Meetup has tons of language exchange groups and different hobbies that you could meet foreigners, practice your English, and again, using English in situations to where it challenges your brain. So again, interleaving versus block method. Um, so anyway, I hope you found this enjoyable, educational. I'll talk more next time about another teaching method called spaced retention. So whatever, if you want to see what that is, please tune in tomorrow. And thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a great Tuesday today, and see you next time. Bye.